1991 Caprice Classic with 3 push plugs in the rear tire.
He sliced his tire, and now to patch it, he just shoved 3 push plugs in it. Do you know where it's at?
In the back somewhere.
It's got some push plugs in it, but are right there. So we're gonna do the right thing instead of putting the spare tire on and send it, see if we can make it back to his place. Good old fancy red interior.
It's all red.
It's all red. What does this thing do 0 to 60 in 3.5 years?
You know, I floored it one time and then I fell asleep.
Honestly, don't know if the tire's holding there back there. We're just gonna send it till it starts flopping, you know? So Zach, when you put these push plugs in, did they go in tight at least?
No.
We're not making it.
Yeah, there's 4 plugs in that tire right now. The first one,
there's 3.
well, there's 3 that are doing something. There's 1 that's in the tire.
Zach?
What?
We have a flat tire.
No way.
I'm kidding, it's full.
Sick.
You know, we're probably 25, 30 miles into the trip, and we're still doing good.
Yeah.
I think shoving push plugs in it basically makes it a brand new tire at this point.
Yeah, pretty much. I should probably just turn around and keep her driving.
That's kind of what I was thinking. Not only do we have the tire to worry about on this little road trip adventure, Zach also drives like a woman and doesn't know how to put gas in. And we're about out of gas and we might not make it. Well, surprisingly, we almost made it. And Zach's an interesting fella. He likes one extreme to the next. So maximum AC and then maximum heat. And now I'm starting to cook. I guess now we're taking it off-roading and mud running. I would open the door, but I would get sprayed in mud. This is how we get stuck, Zach. Yeah, we're stuck. We are stuck. We're making it. We're making it. Zach, I don't think the Caprice is a very good off-road vehicle. We're gonna die. Oh my God.
She loves it.
Yep, that's what old 1991 cars love, is just off-roading. It's not turning.
That could have been bad.
That could have been bad. Zach, I don't think a Chevy Caprice is very good at doing North Dakota specials.
No.
Two-wheel drive vehicles are just not made for this. He's thinking he's gonna be able to push us out, but I guess we'll give it a whirl. I told him I'm not pushing, he's gotta.
She might not come out.
What do you mean? We made good progress.
She's out.
We're home free! Well, we got Zach's upgraded vehicle here.
Yeah, the Poor Decision Machine.
His 2000 Chevy Blazer, he's so proud of. This thing's in mint condition, he says. It's got 220,000 miles on it, and it's completely clapped out.
I totally could rip up this grass.
Is this what we call Blazer adventures, Zach?
Yeah. Dude, just plow through those.
There's a tree behind it.
It's right in the middle.
There's a tree. Well, we're now leaving, and Zach just decides that the ditch is a better option than the road. I mean, I sometimes think that too, but Zach really only has high-end vehicles. Like, this thing's even got a sunroof.
Yeah, it's kind of, I call them my little party trick. So hit the button, hit the roof, thing opens.
You're really high class over here, aren't you, Zach?
Yeah.
We're got the rock picker in here, gonna start maybe thinking about working on it, not actually working on it yet. You do your fair share amount of procrastination before you actually get to work on a project, you know? But while Donnie and the CEO of Elho were here, they saw how wore our rake was on this thing, and they got us these tips made, cut out to get put on here and welded up so we have new rake teeth. And they're literally almost perfect. As you can see, it's maybe just a half an inch or an inch longer than what it originally is. This green thing here is obviously a template. And I'm okay with a little bit extra meat on there, a little extra tooth. And this thing fits on there with the round edge wore just perfectly. That's gonna be so easy to weld on all these. We're gonna have a brand new rake again. That's exciting. They didn't just send us like 1 or 2 of those though. Halo, I believe these came from the factory. They saw our problem and they fixed it. Sent us a whole bunch of them. You know, maybe this thing should have gotten a bath, but oh well, it's a rock picker. It likes abuse. Well, here's one of the teeth from the rock picker. Dad's gonna bring it out to the, what do you call it, machinist, and see if we can get some of these made out of maybe a little bit harder steel than this before we start wearing it down, and then we can't get one made and we have to order from Elho. And with the tariffs, that might be a bit of an issue. So we're gonna go make sure we can get parts for this, because we probably will have it wore out by the end of the year, and then we're gonna get this thing put together one day. Well, Dad went to Jamestown to go see if he can get another picking tooth for that thing made at the machinist. Cameron went the other direction to get parts for the planter, I believe. And Brandon is working on prescriptions for the planter to variable rate seed and I think fertilizer. I'm trying to figure out what I want to work on, and I think I come up with what I want to do. I'm gonna grab the welder here. I think what I'm gonna work on here is work on welding up a few of these teeth, at least on the bottom side down here where they get beat up a lot more by a lot of rock. The top side obviously doesn't get as much rock because that's where the rocks start, and then they literally have to get beaten all the way down until they get picked. So I'm gonna weld a few of these up because it's kind of a one-man job. I kind of enjoy welding. I'm not the best at it, but I suppose if I'm gonna be welding and it's hooked up to the tractor here, I should hit the battery disconnect to help prevent any frying of the computer boards and stuff in the tractor. I don't know if it actually helps or not. Some people disconnect the battery cables. Some people unhook the actual implement from it so it doesn't like ground out or whatever. I've accidentally forgot to disconnect it and never had any issues, but for the most part I try to remember to at least hit the battery disconnect. The lighting's not very well, but I mean, there's a weld there. Probably gonna lay another one on top of it though. Getting a bit of a reference here on what it actually looks like new. This template, like I was saying earlier, is new, off a new one. And now that on there, I'm just a tiny bit over new. Otherwise looks super straight and perfect. I can't complain with that. I'm gonna get to work on this and weld a bunch of these suckers up. Well, I got 3 of them attached here, but now this 4th one I see is bent. So I'm gonna see if I can't give it a couple big swings with the persuasion hammer and get her straightened out here. Trying to decide what I do here. Do I just leave it and we run it with the bent tooth? I know there's a few of them bent on here. Or do I grab the large payloader and try lifting here? Or do I heat it and hit it with the hammer? But then would that weaken my tooth and cause it to bend even more? I don't know. There's a lot of options I have to weigh out here. All of them are probably wrong. I think what I'm gonna do though, I'm gonna just continue on my way of welding it on, because even with a new tip welded on, I can still straighten it with a new tip on there. So I'm gonna keep welding. Well, Joey showed up and he said I was only gonna do like half the rake with new teeth because the top half technically shouldn't be wore as much. He's barking orders and saying do the whole thing. So sometimes we listen to what Joey has to say and that's what we're gonna do. Also, like I was showing you guys, this one's bent. Said heat it and bend it straight. So we're also going to listen to what Joey has to say there.
Should never have to grease again.
Why? I hope so.
It says extreme.
Oh. Well, I don't believe in maintenance anyway, so we shouldn't have to grease regardless. You might as well return that. Well, guys, I guess we're putting a hose reel on the planter so we can have compressed air on there. Why are we over here sniffing grease?
Trying to get high.
First we smelled it to see if it's good quality grease. Now we're going to feel it.
How's it taste?
We're going to taste it next? Yep, that feels like grease.
I think that feels slimier, slipperier.
So what we're working on there is we're attempting to mount a hose reel up to the air that's on the planter, so that way when he has a plug up, he can just use the air compressor and try and blow the hose out instead of having to take it home or bring an air compressor out to him.
Well, after doing more evaluating and talking to Joey and talking to Donnie, out here on the end of the rake does not have a whole lot more wear or less wear than way down there on the bottom, which is kind of confusing because you'd think these would touch a lot less rock. But with how thick our rock are, it's just stupid thick everywhere. And these really do a good job out here of throwing it to the center once it hits the rock the first time, if that makes any sense. So I'm gonna, just weld them all up. Out here I am getting a little bit more extra. I'm just gonna send it and see what happens. Like I said, when all else fails, give up.
Not sure if this bit is meant for metal, but we're gonna use it. Chain lube, I think, is gonna be a good cutting lube.
Well, I got this one whole rake roll welded up. Now I'm gonna see if I can get this heated up and get it bent straight. Hey, you guys coming over here? Almost done. Well, it only took me about a minute or so, but the rake on both sides is now completely welded up. Back to new. minus a couple bent ones. She should eat good again. My only concern with it sticking out a little bit more, or being a little bit longer than the actual original, is am I gonna have enough power to turn the rake? But only being an inch at most of them are ½ inch or less, I think we'll be okay. I'm gonna go shower and we'll get back at this thing again tomorrow.